it's Meg with another video. It's not going to be a review like I initially said, or I guess it is a review of sorts. I just finished the new Mass Effect Extended Cut DLC and I really wanted to talk about it. But before I get started, I just want to say that this is my opinion only and it doesn't represent the mass consensus, not in a Geth sense. Okay, so I'm going to split the video in half. The first bit, I'm just going to talk about my initial thoughts without giving any specific details away, for those of you who haven't played it yet and really don't want anything spoiled. Then the rest of it, and I'll let everyone know before I do this, is going to be a more specific look at all the different things and additions and etc, etc. So that's how it's going to go. Right, I'll start with the bog standard, everyone can listen to it, don't need to plug your ears part. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to start with the bad first, and this isn't any reflection really of the writing or anything like that. It froze, well my DLC, made my game freeze in the sort of latter parts of the battle on Earth in London at least 3 times, and didn't do that on my first couple of playthroughs, so obviously it's a little buggy because I got it as soon as it came out. But that's actually the only major problem I had with it. It did freeze. What I will say is the statement that they came out with before the DLC came out was in fact true. They haven't changed the ending in the sense that all the plot devices that we've seen, including choose A, B, C, and the Normandy crashing, they're all still there, but what they've done is they've elaborated on specific scenes to, in essence, fill the blanks. And that for me has worked out alarmingly well. They've changed very little, yet managed to change the whole feel of it. The ending originally to me was like a brick wall without the cement. This DLC is the cement. But because of the lack of plot device changes, you still have the illogical godchild speech, although it has been elaborated on to its benefit, I would say. But really at the end of this ending, I felt a sense of closure, which is what I wanted originally. I think they did what they set out to do. Not everyone's going to like it. In fact, I could probably guarantee there's still going to be a lot of people that actively hate it. I don't feel that way. I had a sense of hope at the end. I felt that there was enough spotlighting of the characters and the crew and the aftermath that made you feel like you had actually made a difference. It wasn't just, oh, Shepard has become a legend by DLC. This was more, I don't know, it just had a better feel about it. So yeah, I would give it a vote up for me. I don't think about the end and just cringe. Now I'm going to go on to the spoilery parts. So if you haven't played it, go away, go finish it, then come back and yeah, you can see my more specific, detailed thoughts on the ending. Okay, so all the little extra add-on scenes I thought were very good. They were placed in just the right areas and they really, as I said before, filled in the blanks. This is going to be my favourite phrase because it really does epitomise what the DLC I feel has done. There's a part in the ending which a lot of people really didn't like, me included, when you're running to the Citadel and you have to, well, attempt to escape Harbinger's beam, but you get zapped by it anyway. That's completely changed. Before you're hit by the Reaper beam, which is much later, a scene is interjected in which the team that you're on the battleground with are injured. And Garrus, who was on my team and was also my love interest, was injured very badly. So Shepard immediately calls in Joker via the radio and makes him do this insane manoeuvre to drop down and do an emergency evac. And there's a lovely scene, which I'm not going to elaborate too much. If you have got the person you've romanced on your team at this point, it's very good. I was satisfied. And it also explains why the Normandy has left, in essence. They do continue to interject little slivers of footage of the Normandy up around the fleets and the Crucible, so just to hammer home that that is why they're in space and they didn't necessarily abandon you. The first problem that was addressed, that people were like, how the hell do they know that Shepard is on the Citadel when you can hear everyone on the ground going, ah, Hammer was decimated. Well, there's a scene where Admiral Hackett is given a little what looks like those clear iPad thingies, and someone says, oh, we have news somehow, or some kind of reading from the Citadel, someone made it on, blah 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 blah. So that's how I gather they know the Shepard's on the Citadel. That's another addition. Okay, I'm going to try and do this in chronological order. That should bring us up to the whole Citadel area, which everyone was arguing about whether it was indoctrination or not. I don't think it was indoctrination at all from this ending. Everything pretty much plays out exactly the same. You speak to the Godchild, he gives you illogical choices, but this time he's a lot more forthcoming with information. I might be fabricating this because, unsurprisingly, I haven't played the original ending, very often. But it did feel like an extended conversation. When you're given your choices, I think he was a bit more specific with exactly how they're going to affect people, what it is that you're doing. And when he explains these things, Shepard kind of goes through it in his or her mind and can see a sort of flash of, I think, the repercussions and the results of that particular choice. And also, depending on which one, like when you have a flash of the control option, you see the elusive man putting his hands into the little thingamajigger. Then if you look at the destroy option, you can see Anderson waltzing up to the thing and shooting it. I thought these were nice additions because they made things a little, not simpler, just a little clearer. And I know there's a lot of grey in Mass Effect, a lot of grey area, but in this particular case I think it deserved a little black and white. So basically, I picked the destroy ending, and I know it's only a temporary fix, but I'm not here to discuss my choices with you. I'm Commander Shepard, and that's what I picked. So I literally went for it. You got to see a lot more results from the ground, i.e. your Asari commandos and the Krogan. You get to see everyone on the ground, how that's directly affecting them. And with my ending, this just giant red light kind of came through and destroyed everything Reaper related. Then the explosion that just kind of rips out of the Crucible and the Citadel does hit the mass relays just like the previous ending, but as is established a little later on, it doesn't destroy the mass relays, it just kind of screws them up a bit. But as the Godchild told me, everyone has the means to be able to rebuild them, so I guess they filled the plot hole with that statement. That leads me to the Normandy, escaping the explosion and crash landing on a green planet. Now, I saw it, and even after everything I'd seen up until that point, I thought, are you really going to stick with that? You're going to stick with that. But it works, because there's a scene afterwards that takes place on the Normandy, which is a wonderful scene, I think, in which the crew has gathered around the memorial wall inside the Normandy. And if you look in the background, there's actually repairs going on aboard the Normandy, and at the very end you see the Normandy depart the planet. So that end was neatly tied up without changing the whole crash land thing. I think it worked. I know I said I'd do this in chronological order, but I did technically just skip a huge chunk out because I got sidetracked with the whole Normandy crashing thing. Okay, so when you actually make your choice, there's a really great narration that plays over this very long scene, if you can really call it a scene, and it basically talks about the fight and what you've accomplished, etc, etc, you know, military pep talk. I was very worried that they were going to go with a text-based sort of epilogue like they did for Dragon Age Origins, which really narked me, considering that the PC version got a wedding with Alistair. They didn't. What they did go with was a series of images of some of your characters and like the rebuilding of Tuchanka and scenes like that to Admiral Hackett's sort of voiceover. It didn't feel rushed per se. Of course I would have preferred actual cinematic cutscenes, but I'm just really thankful that we got this so quickly, and that's the kind of thing I can put up with if I get it sooner. If I get my closure quicker, I'll go with the pictures. With the ending the way it is, I don't think there's a real need for the Stargazer teaser that's still played, but hell, you get to hear Buzz Aldrin, so that's a plus, and that's the whole reason I liked it in the first place, but still I feel it's a little out of place now that we've gotten closure everywhere else. I've probably forgotten a lot of things here, so I apologise if that's the case. And last but not least, they have a message to the fans from Bioware that was technically there before. You probably won't have forgotten it if you played the first ending, in which it says, yeah, Shepard's a legend, congratulations, now continue through DLC content. Well, they've changed that, rephrased it, I might add, and added a nice message. And I'm actually going to read that to you now. Congratulations on bringing an end to the Reaper threat. Commander Shepard has become a legend, and from here you can continue to build that legend. Notice how they didn't mention DLC. Good on them. It has been a long journey for Shepard and for the team here at Bioware, and like Shepard, we couldn't have done it alone. The Mass Effect trilogy began as the vision of a small team, but over the years it has grown. That growth has been fueled and shaped by the feedback and support of our player community. Thank you for joining us on this journey, and we look forward to sharing further adventures with you in the Mass Effect universe. From the Mass Effect team. I thought that was a wonderful message. I approve, but I also think it really recognises the fact that Mass Effect fans do have a lot of say in the series, contrary to what some people seem to think. You know, the Mass Effect fans have moulded the series pretty much from the beginning, so yeah, I like that. And I will say thank you, Bioware. Thank you to you too. I'm not very good at this sort of thing. Can you tell? So that's what I think of that. I think they did a remarkable amount in such a short period of time. I like the fact that they catered to people as best they could while still keeping the original ending. Whether or not you like the scenarios that have been added, or whether you feel like they should have changed the entire thing, the one thing that I feel really can't be argued is that this extended cut DLC makes you as the player feel different, which is the most important thing. When I got to the end of this, I went, end of the journey. Before, I felt like I'd been left out in the cold. No, not left out in the cold, I'd been kicked out in the cold, with no clothes. But with this one, I felt like I saw the results of my efforts. So that's all I'm going to say right now. This is really just a quick video on what I think. But as I said before, I really want to open this up for discussion. Anyone who wants to talk about what they think about it, how they feel, anything to do with this whole subject, by all means stop by, leave a comment, send me a message, join my Facebook page, blah blah blah. Thank you for watching, if you are indeed watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you all in my next video, which will be on Thursday. And I guess that's a review. I'm completely screwed up now. This is why you don't get all obsessed over a video game. You can't live properly. No, that's a lie. I live perfectly normally. I'm fine. Bye! Say goodbye, Cola. God, I am so not prepared for this today. Nice, Megan. You look really fine today. I'm on a steady diet of Coke. I haven't eaten anything. I've been up all night, no sleep, because I was so excited for the DLC today. And now you get this. I'm so strung out on caffeine. I'm humming. This really isn't making much sense, is it? Sorry. I'll drink as much cola as I can, try and keep as coherent as I possibly can. I need a drip of it. I completely forgot what I was going to say. Caffeine, help!